OK, well, let's stay with that story, because from Athens, I'm joined by Professor Nickolaos Travlos. He's the Dean of the ALBA Graduate Business School. He's also been following these events rather closely. A very good day to you, Professor. Can you just tell me, what do you think these talks are likely to achieve today?
Unfortunately, I cannot hear you. Could you please speak louder?
Yes, I certainly will. The talks which are taking place today, what do you think they're likely to achieve?
Okay, I see. I'm sure that the process has started in order for Greece to go to the International Monetary Fund under the scheme of the European Union. I think it is very likely that this will happen pretty soon.
But what do you think that Greece has to give in return?
Greece has to, I believe, undertake several structural changes and reforms, like the liberalization of the labor market, the opening up of some protected professions, and redesign the way the government operates in order to give incentives for productive people and penalties for those who do not produce.
OK, Professor Nickolaos Travlos, thank you so much for your assessment of those discussions taking place in Greece today.
Now, from Athens, I'm joined by Professor Nickolaos Travlos, who is Dean of the ALBA Graduate Business School. Professor Travlos, these figures, does this mean the situation is actually worsening, or is this just a recalculation we're talking about here?
As the Greek government has announced and explained, there are two reasons for that. The first reason is the recalculation of the GDP, which does not therefore necessarily mean that this is more debt. However, the second reason is due to the new estimates on the state health care and pension system deficit. I do not know exactly the magnitude of each one of those two figures, but it's okay, it's another number, it's not so big. And part of that, of course, is based on these new numbers.
So it sounds as though that it is actually looking at the numbers a bit more closely, and I noticed that the EU says that they have reservations on the quality of the data reported by Greece. There seems to be quite a serious problems in terms of getting their numbers right.
That's true. It is not a favorable development, but I think it could be faced if the government undertakes the necessary changes and structural reforms that most economists in Greece and outside Greece has already suggested.
Do you think there is still the political will to push through the kind of reforms that are required? And bearing in mind that we have pictures at the moment we're just about to show you, we've just been showing, of the kind of street demonstrations that are going on at the moment.
As you understand, it is not an easy thing to digest, so there are oppositions, there are negative reactions from people, but this is what you would expect. I do believe that Mr. George Papandreou is well accepted by the general public, and if he communicates all the austerity measures in a good way, I think he has very good chances to for the people to accept them.
And do you think he's going to be able to bring the rate of borrowing, which Greece now has to have at the moment in the markets, down from below 8.5%, it seems?
The government claims that it will happen because they estimate that all the current measures that they have taken for this year will reduce the deficit by 6 percentage points.
OK, thank you very much.
And
we have to
I'm
leave
confident
it
that it will happen.
I'm sorry, I have to cut you off now. Professor Nickolaos Travlos, thank you very much indeed for taking the time to talk to us.